I have a C.S. Lewis quote, and he wrote, "At the end of things, the blessed will say, I have never been anywhere but heaven. And the lost will say, I have always been in hell. And both will speak truly." Now, for me, heaven and hell are rather poetical terms rather than technical terms, but they do rather capture the experience that we could be in as humans. Sometimes we feel like we're in heaven, sometimes we feel like we're in hell. And the longer that I have lived on this planet, I've realized that it's all smushed together. Heaven and hell is smushed together. And that, as C.S. Lewis is trying to show, I literally get to choose. And it doesn't mean that choosing is easy. I've had to learn that sometimes I have to prepare for my choices and become stronger. It doesn't mean that I can control everything that happens to me. There's lots of unpredictable and uncontrollable things about life. But heaven and hell is not about where we go after this life, although we will continue. But heaven and hell is something we carry with us all of the time. And we choose our destiny for the most part. I'm also a believer that there are things that can defeat us. But in the end, if you want to be undefeated, you have to learn your choices. The only way you're going to climb out of your defeat is by laying hold on some new choices. Well, when this comes down to peace, again, it's not about what's outside of you, it's about what's inside of you. And in terms of world peace, you have to carry that with you and trust that you will spread it a little bit more everywhere you go. And the blessed, of course, were spreading heaven wherever they went because they took it with them. And people who carry hell spread that with them. And sometimes they do it deliberately, sometimes they do it ignorantly. They don't know better. They don't know that they could enter heaven like tomorrow if they wanted to. Heaven doesn't mean all the work is done. It doesn't mean things are easy. But it does mean that there's some purpose to life and that we understand our purpose. And as a peace worker or a peacemaker, again, you understand yourself as peaceful and you do what you can. And I think I've had a very great lesson, and I don't think I passed it. I think I failed it, but it did allow me to see that, I might hope for world peace in far places, like between countries, and I do, and I'm always going to want that. But I had a time when I was fighting with a woman that in the church, and I don't think either one of us wanted to fight with each other per se, because she's a good person, and I hope I'm slightly a good person, but whatever had hurt each other's feelings, right? And so in those moments, I had to make choices about how I was going to be peaceful instead of just blowing up, throwing tantrums, getting revenge, or whatever. And I don't necessarily think that I passed. I didn't do anything toward her bad, I think, but I also didn't try to reconcile with her. I kind of hid myself away because it was overwhelming and scary to me to have that conflict. So I think I can do better next time. But my point is if I can't have peace with her, someone down the street or in my town, then that's where the rubber meets the road. And then I have to be able to do that if I want peace in far countries too. So you carry it with you, carry your peace with you. And peace, if you work with peace in the world and with watching the human nature of people around you, you're always going to be a little bit sad. You're always going to know what is not done, what is undone, and what is close to impossible. And yet, you begin and then you keep going, and you notice the heaven that's already here, and you add your little piece to it so that you keep creating and building on the heaven that's already here so that you can have your heaven and share it with the people that you love. And that might be just inside your home, and the chaos starts when you open the door. Might be in your community, might be in your online community. Create a safe and peaceful space where people gather online. But it is the work that we must do for ourselves. Not necessarily by ourselves, we need each other to help out, but no one can do it for us. We must do heaven and peace for ourselves, and then share it with others.